I was putting out the garden and I thought to myself, I should really bring you guys along. Finally, the weather is nice. I'm wearing shorts and looks like it's gonna be nice for a while. I'm gonna get these plants out that have been sitting up there on my on my carport. Okay, so I'm out here in the far corner with all the beds that I set up new this year. Let me show you what I've planted already, and then we'll talk about what I'm planting next. So this is a buttercup squash that I had planted right when I planted everything else. That's a loofah right there, and that's a giant marigold. And I think it's interesting because I planted this one out and I couldn't find the other two, but then I found them today, and look how long and leggy they are, and they're putting on flowers because they were so stressed out about still being in the 10 by 20. If you look at this guy, oh, he also has a flower, but his stem, I guess the stems are the same. He just looks, he's short, stout. He's also putting on flowers. Maybe it's not too early. All of my plants are putting on flowers, not the loofah. I hope not. They have to grow a little bit, but I just thought it was interesting how tall this guy got. But now let's walk over to the tomatoes. I've got Brad's Atomic Grape here. Now, these are heirloom, so they come on a little slower in comparison. Here is the larger, these are Amish paste tomatoes. So, I mean, they're also an heirloom, but they're coming on a lot faster. Maybe it's just the Brad's Atomic Grape are slow to come on. They're just slow to get big and slow to put on fruit. And here's this system that I'm using for these hoops that I might want to cover this bed. That's just a piece of rebar with some plumbing here. Probably will move these to a different bed. I put them here just to see if they would work, and I think they will. I've got some clips, but right now let's plant these white zinnias and this Thai basil. I'm going to put them in here with the tomatoes. They should be super happy. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to put some of these green zinnias here in the corner. I've already dug the hole, and then look at all this Thai basil I have. This was a free seed packet from Baker Creek. So let's get started. I don't know that I need my gloves for this because I really need to be able to pick these plants straight out of here. And I've already planted some, so there's some missing already, but let's see. I'm going to even this out. I don't know how many I should put in here. From what I remember, these white zinnias don't get very big, but they might. So I might just put one here, and then the rest I'm going to fill in with the basil. I might put basil because I have so much. I might put basil over there as well. I think I'm going to plant these two deep. So one here and one here, maybe zigzag. Let's see. Now this plant is a little sad. You can see it only has one leaf. Probably will not transplant that one. Just call it a dud and say, better luck next time. These were from saved seeds from last year, so it doesn't bother me that didn't have perfect germination. I'm just happy to have them, you know? So I'm gonna just snatch this up. If you can see, I'm trying to show you, I'm just gonna reach down into here and grab as much of the roots as I can. Now, in some circumstances, I might have pulled the entire loaf, let's say, loaf of dirt out, but this time I'm not going to. So I accidentally pulled two out. Just going to separate them. In fact, I'll bring them both over here and we'll get them planted. Zinnias you cannot plant deep like you would a tomato. So I'm probably just going to make a little hole for look at that nice roots though. I love it. I think this guy's going to do great. When I transplanted the other ones in the other beds, they transplanted great. Didn't even seem to go into shock. Look amazing. Look how happy he is. I love it so much. This guy also has great roots. So I'm just going to put him here next to his brother. I am only putting them like 4 inches apart. Again, I'm just not worried about it. If they get too big, that's okay. They'll just get too big. Let's put these basil. Let's plant these throughout. I'm going to put this off to the side. Today I made the decision. I'm like, okay, I know where things are going to go. And I put a bunch of seedlings in the 10 by 20s and planted, or just place them where they need to be so that I could get a vision of what I'm doing. I feel like I have 15 different projects that have to happen. And so I was feeling a little overwhelmed, even though I had made a list. I was like, but I don't know which one to start with. So finally I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put all these plants out here, and that'll be my visual sign of what I'm supposed to do. Some of these Thai basil are a little small, so I'm not going to transplant them. I'm going to try and get the bigger ones out of here. Again, I might be grabbing one, more than one. You can see they're in there pretty close. I'm going to try and grab these 2 right here. So let's see. And again, basil does not mind being transplanted, so this is not going to be a problem. That did sound like ripping roots. I know you can't hear it and you might get nervous. Oh, I'm breaking the roots. You're absolutely breaking the roots, and it's fine. So these 2 are stuck together. I'm going to pull them apart. Look at that. They still have roots. They're still happy. Like I said, I'm going to plant some here along the edge, and then maybe some in here. And I have those Brad's Atomic Grape plants back here. They're little like this. One of them is looking pretty sad. I need to water these in. So let's get these Thai basil planted. Just a tiny little hole I just did with my finger. I'm not using the spade. I would not plant Thai basil or basil any deeper than the root system is already. Not like tomatoes that you can plant really deep. And again, I'm putting these about 6 inches apart. Get that in there. There we go. And I'll be able to tell just by looking at them that they are basil. So let me get the rest of these in. Okay, you can see all the tiny little basil and the zinnias. Let's get them watered in. See what we can do. Always have to water your transplants in. Oh, my hose isn't very long, or it's stuck on something. Always water them in to avoid transplant shock. And really, I should have done these transplants at night. It's not hot today, but please remember that if it is hot out, you don't want to be transplanting. This guy's kind of laying down, you can see, because the water's hitting him. That's okay. He's going to pop back up. Do not worry about it. Even the tomatoes are looking a little sad. Now, in my perfect dream, I would have a watering system in here that I could just turn on that would water it. That will come later. We'll get that. Let's walk over and water the other bed. Those Amish paste, oh my gosh, Amish paste tomatoes are doing really good. I don't know if you heard that. Somebody was honking. They probably liked our flags. Anyway, usually if they don't like them, they don't say anything. Those Amish paste plants are doing so good. That is going to be so much basil, you guys. I don't even know. And I still have probably twice as many plants I got to figure out where to put. We do love pesto. I've never made it from scratch. So I'm excited to do that this year. We're going to have a lot of pesto. We make pesto pizza. So I'll make the homemade crust and then a pesto sauce, and we'll put diced tomatoes and spinach, which reminds me, I should probably grow some spinach. Maybe I should put some of those in the ground. I do have spinach seeds. And we'll put some diced spinach and mozzarella on top. Pesto pizza is the best. Okay, I'm going to water the rest of the garden. Most of these beds just have some okra. There's nothing in this bed, so I'm not going to water here. Just have some okra seeds in the corners here. This is where I have my Louisiana 16-inch. Supposed to be really long okra. it was kind of funny because they're called Louisiana 16-inch, but then on the back of the seed packet, it said that the pods get to be 10 inches long. So I'm not sure. I'm sure they get longer if you're trying to save them for seed, and maybe that's what it was about. Or maybe it was just a marketing technique to say that they're 16 inches. Kind of funny, but still 10 inches is a long okra if you can still eat it. Here I have another buttercup squash. This is one of the ones that got kind of lost in one of my 10 by 20s, and I couldn't find it. And you can see how tall he is, trying to reach for sun. I've got my heavy hitter okra. This is one of my favorite. I'm growing 6 different types of okra this year. Heavy hitter okra is one of my favorite. So prolific, so much okra. If you're looking for something that you can grow just 2 plants and have enough for your entire family, this is the one, because it grows a lot of plants. And this year last year I saved about 500 seeds from these plants. No, 1,500 seeds. And I ended up giving them away at the end of the year in November to my seed swap. So keep your eyes open if you're interested in a seed swap. I think this year it'll be $10. And I sent just I think it was a pound. Most of them were like a pound. These are Nakrima okra. They are red and green, regular size okra, but the plants get to be like 12 feet tall. So I'm super excited to see that. That's one of the reasons I put it here against the fence. A plant that large is probably going to need some support. Maybe not. We will see. I feel like if it's in a raised bed, it might need a little support. So I'm super excited to see what we get. Again, I will be saving seeds from all of these okra to trade. And next year, who knows what I'll be interested in. Maybe I'll be interested in different types of potatoes. and then, everybody will get, well, you won't get potatoes, but these are, over here, we've got Okinawa. No. What was it? Oklahoma red, I think is what it is. So this is just another red okra, and I've got all these potatoes. These potatoes, I just bought a 3-pound bag of organic potatoes at the grocery store and then planted them. I don't even think I cut them up because they were so small. Put them in baskets, covered them with dirt, started them the same way I start my other seeds. And they grew, and it was amazing. And I love this system because that way the rotten potatoes that had rotted out in the basket, I could just throw them away. I didn't have to let them rot in the bed. These, I have okra here in this bed, Star of David okra. They're fatter. You harvest them when they're like 3 inches long. I really like them. I like the texture of them, and I like that they're bigger like that. So I would slice them into real thin slices and put them in things. But they're great. And I also gave away about 1,500 of those seeds last year. Those were the only 2 that I had last year, was the Star of David and the heavy hitter okra. And again, this year I'm growing about 6 different types of okra. So it's going to be exciting. This is the last okra over here. This is the Alabama red. Oh, my hose is pinched. Oh no. There we go. And I haven't planted anything else in this bed. I don't even know if you can see me. I probably should. I need to figure out, maybe this is where I could put the spinach I was talking about. This bed is also open. All of these are open. So let's get these okra watered in. I think that's everybody. Maybe I could water this corner bed over here. Let's see. Haven't watered them yet. It's such a nice day out. Oh, the birds are over here. How fun. Something I've been forgetting to do is I wanted to plant 2 loofah plants along these edges. So there's one that I started inside and got horrible germination on these guys. That's why I only ended up with 2. I planted 6. So I'm going to put another seed there and another seed over there. This is the seed. I got it from Beep Seed. Honestly, the germination may have been my fault. I don't know. The other seeds I got from them had great germination, so I'm not sure if loofahs are just difficult. Maybe I should have soaked them. I'm not going to do that. That is definitely not my style. But I am going to put 2 seeds in each hole here, just to make sure, just to hedge my bets. And put 2 over here in this corner. One thing I love about raised beds is I know that when these come up, I'll immediately recognize them because there won't be any weeds in there, right? That's going to be only things that I put in there are going to exist in there. So I'll know immediately that those are the loofah that I planted. And I will thin them. Woo, hold on. Let me get the right spray here. I'll thin them if both of them end up coming up because you can't have them growing on that. But we left the field fencing, you can see on the cattle or on the, so we have horse fencing that was put in. That was the previous people that owned the house. And then the people that owned the house after them, they stayed here until they passed away. The first people did. The second people were flippers. So they bought the house, they renovated it, and they put this field fencing up here to keep their dogs in, which was great when we had a dog. And then we talked about taking it down. And then I said, hold on a second, I'm going to plant a garden along there. And the plants are going to be able to grab onto that field fencing a whole lot better than the horse fencing. So that's what we did. We just left it on there. And that loofah is definitely going to have a blast. So I'm planning on taking those ones that are like a little closer, that one right there, and making it, training it to go up, right? I want it to be a little higher on the fencing than the other one. And so, you know, hopefully I have 2 layers. So one's running across the top up here and one's running across the bottom. One last thing I want to do before I let you go is plant the nasturtium and the cosmos. That's what I have to put in here with these clematis. These are the beds that I moved over. I've got one more I need to move over. So here are the 2 that I've already transferred. They originally had these wood boxes. That box is only 2 years old, you guys. And look, it's already breaking down. This is treated wood. So definitely go with the metal planters if you can. They cost the same. I've priced them out. To get something that's, you know, 2x2 in wood is going to cost you the same. These are like 20 bucks. They come in a 3-pack. And I'm going to eventually, maybe tomorrow, move this other clematis, and I need to pull this one out. I could probably do that one today. I just don't want to deal with pulling out all the grass and not killing it. This one I could just rip out real quick, put the other bed there. And I have to go buy another clematis because that one died. I wonder why. So the cosmos and nasturtium are going to go here. Let me go get the seeds. Okay, guys, this is what I have. So these are the cosmos I'm planting. That one's so pretty. And this apricot lemonade. Look at those. Those are so cute. These are some that I just bought. I think I got these at Walmart. So that's just a regular mix. And then here's some nasturtium. These are so pretty as well. Love the contrast. Now, I've grown these before and they are even prettier in person. So let's get these in the ground. Of course, the plan is to plant the cosmos back toward the back. Let me see if it says how tall they get. Sprouts, let's see, 2-foot plants. Perfect. So that's 2 foot. I think they're both 2 foot. So I think I'm going to do one of them in one and one in the other. Let's do the apricot lemonade in this one. And then I think I'll do the, woo, I'm going to lose my seeds here. Come on now. Stay where you are. So how many should I plant? What does it say for spacing? spacing 10 inches. That's a suggestion. Let's see. What do we want to do? Let me see how many I have in here. Oh, that's not many. That is not many at all. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to stay on top of keeping these watered. Should have started them inside. Maybe I'll plant 2 out here and then a couple. Oh, well, there's more. There's more than I was thinking. Okay, put that one in the ground. I'll plant 3 out here. I have a bunch actually. I didn't realize they were all piled in there. Okay, so we'll plant those 3 there. Remind me to water these guys. Put that in my pocket. I got cargo shorts in the mail today from Amazon because it was too much. I needed more pockets. And then I'll do these orchid cream nasturtium in here. And what does it say? Spacing 8 to 12 inches. Okay, perfect. So, oh, there's a seed stuck in there. I'll do 3 around the outside. 1. And I know I could mix them up, but I really want to keep them all the same. I think that that would be visually pleasing to me. And now that I think about it, I'm going to have 2 more beds. So of course I need to buy more seeds. I'm going to need to buy 2 more Cosmo types and 2 more nasturtium types. Isn't that how it works? Of course. Okay. Well, no, I have another nasturtium. So I'll have to buy 1 more nasturtium and 2 more Cosmos, right? Okay. I'll save this other nasturtium for the other bed over there that I'm getting ready to change out. Wonder if that'll happen today. I'm going to take a break for a little while, and I'll probably have more energy after I take a 15-minute break. But right now, I'm ready to sit down with a cold drink. Okay. Belouette Cosmos. These are so pretty. They're going to look so good next to these clematis. Okay. 1. Oh, I think I put 2 seeds in there. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll put 2 in that one too. Okay, cover these up. Put these in my pocket so I don't lose them. And then what's in there? Oh, I got all these pockets. And then these Bloody Mary nasturtiums. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, let's get those in here too. And then we'll water them in. Always got to water in. Do you see my clematis looks sad? They do not like being transplanted. Oh my gosh, these are giant. I don't think I've seen. Look at that. Oh, I dropped one. See how big those are? That's crazy. Okay, let's put 3 of these in here. Cover him up. There's grass or something growing in here. I did reuse some of the dirt that was in the other beds that grass had grown in. When I planted these other beds, I just put cardboard down in the bottom, and I will not make that mistake again. I don't know how it did it, but the grass is magic. It's that zoysia or Bermuda grass. And man, if there's a way, it'll find its way in. If it can tell where the good soil is, and it'll just take off. So I ended up with grass in these other beds, used a little bit of the dirt, tried to pull out the grass, but it looks like I missed some because I can see it coming in. I'll need to pull those out here pretty quick. Let's see. Get these water. Okay, one last thing I want to show you before I let you go. This big area I have for squash and maybe even some melons. So I decided I needed more room for my garden. The other beds are over here. I have all these squash down here that need to go out. And I realized that, wish I had a different type of sprinkler. I'll have to pick one up. I want one that fans back and forth. Anyways, so I realized I am not going to be able to dig a hole in this dirt that's under this weed barrier unless it's watered. So we're going to be doing some deep watering. I need to move that over to that corner, and then we'll do like quadrants or something. Or I think there's a setting on there that maybe is a little wider. But anyways, that's what I'm going to finish up today. Thanks for joining me, guys.